Well, I'd like to thank Jean Quatremer for his advice on taking some transport and looking at the situation in our institutions and indeed in a particular country. Thanks for that advice. But when you say we waited, well, no, we didn't wait. Obviously, you'd have to have been around in August to have noticed this. But as of the beginning of August, the Commission asked for this kind of coordination. And Home and Just, DG Home and DG Just, have both written to all member states. We wrote to the member states on the 7th of August to ask a whole series of questions to ensure that we could coordinate common action. But you have to understand that the decision is in the hands of member states. What we've done today is take a further step. Now, a number of member states have clamoured for this, have asked for this coordination, and as a result, we're coming along with this draft proposal for a recommendation. This obviously has been through the Commission, and I hope it will be adopted by Council. And I very much hope we'll have an opportunity to set some clear rules. Now, it's certainly not a matter of coming along here with new restrictions. No, that's not what it's about. We're talking about coordination. We're talking about coordination of clear messaging, clear information to be given to the public. What we're stressing is that the information has to be much clearer, with a date, a time each week, so that a map can be published and made public, and then those measures can be introduced on the same day, at the same time, in all member states. Obviously, the decisions on measures are left with member states. But it isn't that we haven't been coordinating. We've been working on this ever since new measures were introduced, because, as you know, there was a gradual relaxing of the lockdown, and then there was a pickup of outbreaks in a number of countries. So new measures had to be introduced as of the end of July and beginning of August. And it was at the very beginning of August that the Commission started to make suggestions and ask questions. And this is just the next formal step. As to differing standards for differing institutions, well, the Commission obviously has a number of recommendations for its staff and for the commissioners. But the first thing we have to do is to apply the rules in whatever country you are actually in. So obviously, when we're talking about being in Brussels, we as institutions have to respect Belgium's rules. If we're in another member state of the EU, we have to respect the rules established by that other state. But it's indeed partly because of that we're working on this recommendation, because I do hope that as a result of this recommendation we'll get much clearer information being passed on. And as to what's going on in the Parliament, I'm not going to be giving a recommendation from the Commission to the Parliament. However, the European Parliament is in the same situation. It has to apply the rules that apply in a particular member state. But within those rules there are exceptions, in particular exceptions for officials going to essential meetings. And there are exceptions for other categories of people, like journalists, for example, in particular, who have to ensure the freedom of press by following such occasions, such meetings. Thank you.
Une autre question en français, je pense.
Another question in French, perhaps?
Oui.
Yes, thank you very much. Do you hear me? Can you hear me?